Since I started doing a dose of Buckley, I've garnered quite the reputation for being a spelling and grammar Nazi. Maybe it was the how not to get a job in radio series, the hate comments video, the way I've made fun of the words swag, racks, and bands in my worst songs videos. Maybe it's the way I handle people in the comments sections, or maybe it's the time I said, when insulting someone's intelligence on the internet, one should be mindful of their own spelling and grammar. In other words, don't call someone a retard when you spell like a retard. What can I say? I don't think it's too much to ask that people use the English language correctly when they want to be taken seriously. So you won't be surprised when I saw this and was a little annoyed. A couple of years ago, the Oxford English Dictionary added a second meaning to the word literally, and no one really noticed until this year. Previously, the word literally meant in a literal manner or sense, and the word literal means taking words in their usual or most basic sense without metaphor or exaggeration, or free from exaggeration or distortion. It was factual. If someone said, "I literally died when I saw that new video from Smosh," what they meant was that they are now actually fucking dead, and I guess they're now a ghost. In fact, the title of this dose is a joke. Clearly, the English language is not literally being butchered. A person is not taking a large knife and carving up the language as though it were a cow being turned into steaks. However, it is now technically right. Oxford has added that the word can be used for emphasis rather than being actually true. Fiona McPherson, senior editor for the Oxford Dictionary, says, "The only reason this sense is included is because people are using it in this way. Words have changed their meaning ever since the first word was uttered." This seems like such a fucking cop-out to me, and really a nice metaphor for the way society is. Too lazy to do things right, so we just adapt things to suit our laziness instead. First off, it's not like we don't have a word for what these dipshits are trying to say. McPherson's example is that meat used to mean all food, but now its sense has narrowed. But that's because at the time, there weren't words to describe the difference between meat and fruit, or meat and vegetables, all very different food items, and you can understand why that would be necessary. But with this, we already have words to describe something that's not literally what you're describing. There's virtually, figuratively. I virtually shit myself when I saw that Machete Kills tanked at the box office. See? Now you're saying exactly what you wanted to say. You didn't just fucking admit to soiling yourself like a baby or a deranged hobo. You've emphasized that you were shocked and did so in a way that doesn't figuratively slap the English language in the cock and spit in its mouth. And second, what if we took this approach for other things? What if we just said, well, everyone does it, so we might as well just say it's fine to do so, like we're doing here. Just saying, fuck it. Everyone uses literally wrong, so now it means virtually or figuratively, and everyone's happy. If we applied this to other things, I guess stealing would be fine. Lots of people steal, so why are we worried about that? Based on this mindset, it's fine. Rape? Might as well allow rape. Can't stop everyone from doing it. Men are going to force themselves on women or drug them at bars, so guess we should just change the laws so it's legal. This is literally the only argument some proponents of legalizing marijuana have, and that is the correct use of that word in that sentence. Obviously, many people have legitimate points, and even if you have other points, that definitely shouldn't be one. Well, everyone smokes, so just make it legal. That is potentially the worst argument that can be made because A, not everyone smokes. Everyone doesn't mean some people. It means 100% of the people you're referring to. Everyone is another often misused word. And B, go back a minute or so and listen to the scenarios I just described. Just because a group of people do something doesn't make it right. Now, if you have actual, scientific, well-researched, reasonable arguments to support why it should be legal, that's fine. But that's not what this video is about, so fucking keep them to yourselves. I figuratively don't give a flying fuck whether it's legal or illegal, as long as that's not the argument that makes it legal. But back to literally. There's no need to change its meaning. You want to make a dictionary run by mouth breathers, that's fine. That's what Urban Dictionary is for. Let them have that one. It's a meaningless collection of shit that reflects the garbled nonsense being spoken by the droolies of the world. It might just be the word literally right now, but the next thing you know, you're saying, well, people spell words wrong all the time, so now both yours mean the same thing, the three theirs, whichever you want to use is fine, definitely and defiantly, They mean the same since people often mix them up when writing. And then the English language is literally broken, and we just say, well, it's good enough. Which seems to be the mantra for our society. It's good enough. We don't need to have standards, we don't need to try. Close enough is fine. So fuck it. I don't even need to end this dose with a joke or some sort of witty remark that wraps the whole thing up. It's good enough. See you next week.